Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this morning? This is Patty's Kitchen, Garden, and More. I thank you all for being here with me this morning. This is impromptu. I've been thinking about the topic that I'm going to talk about. Didn't know when I was going to talk about it, but just was led to pop in here quickly this morning and talk about what I'm about to talk about. First of all, happy Thursday. Happy November 30th, 2023, the last day of November. I thank you all for popping in with me this morning. I am grateful for those of you who will watch the replay, but just felt the need to come in this morning to talk about what I'm about to talk about. The topic is covetousness. Covetousness. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not covet. And this is a Bible commandment, one of the 10 commandments, and it is found in Exodus 20 and 17. So you can go back and read it for yourself, ponder on it. But I would just like to welcome everybody in. Everybody's welcome here. This is a place of motivation, inspiration, cooking, traveling, cruising, whatever, and more. So it has been a great month. There have been some obstacles, but I am still thankful each and every day that I am allowed to be above ground level and to be well. So I hope everybody's having a great morning so far. I have been awakened a little early this morning, so I just decided while my thoughts are fresh and clear to just talk about this topic. So, covetousness, covetousness. That word means having a strong desire to do something that somebody else is doing. Just to have a strong desire of this. And we see this all the time, coveting things that are not ours. Just want to do what somebody else is doing, want to be what somebody else is. You know, somebody gets a certain car, you want that car as well, or vehicle. Somebody gets a certain home in a certain area, you desire to have that because somebody else has it, and it goes deeper and deeper. A lot of people are chosen and are given gifts and callings by God. It is in their spirit and was put in their spirit before they were formed in their mother's womb. And these are things that we cannot, they may not be for us. I believe God gives everybody gifts and talents to do things, abilities, but everybody is not God's chosen. So we should stop trying to be what somebody else is because it won't work. Stop duplicating and just be original. Be who God has called you to be, not trying to mimic anyone else. So we would come out a lot better if we would just be ourselves and not covet what somebody else has, what somebody else is doing, and all of these things. So let's see what the Bible has to say about covetousness. It is in Exodus 20 and 17. You should not covet your neighbor's house, You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or his female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. Anything that belongs to your neighbor. Your neighbor may not be the person who lives right next door to you. Your neighbor can be anyone. So it's just a little something that I had in my spirit that I wanted to say. And let me welcome everyone in this morning. This is just a pop up. Good morning. Welcome to TNT Family Show. Good morning, Boss Lady Denise. Good morning, Tamika Davis. Good morning, Heather. Chronic Condition Crafting. Good morning, Tamika Davis. Good morning, Wellness with Fruga Mama. Thank you so much, Heather. Glad to be here with you all. Good morning, Keisha. Happy Thursday. And for anyone who may watch the replay, I appreciate you. And this is not going to be a long one. It's just an idea or a nudging I had in my spirit to talk about covetousness. 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 Do not covet that which belongs to another. God gives us all ideas. We have abilities and all of these things. Some of us may be God chosen. Not all of us will be chosen spiritually, but we can do other things. And when we are chosen, it's not anything that you will learn professionally. It's not anything that you will find in a textbook or a classroom or something that a professor can teach you. When you are God chosen, it comes from within. It is in your spirit, and it was put in your spirit by God before you were formed in the womb of your mother. God knew you, He knew us. So let's try not uh, be who we're not, try to mimic everybody else, and just be, because if we search deep within ourselves and pray, God will allow us to know what abilities we have that He has placed inside of us. Now, I know I dream. I dream a lot. And a lot of times, I'm not saying every time, but God shows me things in dreams many times. My mom is that way. One of my daughters is that way. Sometimes before trouble comes, I may not know what it is, but I know something is not right. And a lot of times I am awakened in the early morning hours, anywhere from 2 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is a dark time when God can really speak through our spirits. And He speaks through my spirit in dreams many times, not so much visions, but dreams that I have so many times. And I can know, I said, I knew something was going to happen, but I didn't know what. And this is what God is trying to show me or tell me. Many times we have dreams and we know right off the bat it does not come from God. It is the enemy that is buffing at us in dreams. So I quickly rebuke dreams like that. For instance, about 3 weeks ago, approximately 3 weeks ago, not any longer than that, I had a dream. And it was a dream that I saw this snake, not a real big snake, not a baby snake, not a young snake, but I saw this snake and I'd never seen anything like it. And the snake had many bright colors going around its its body, its long body. I mean, bright greens, bright yellow, bright pink, just soft pastel color snake, just rings of different colors around that snake's body. And I said, now, God, I know this is the enemy. I know this is deception. This is the enemy. And God was allowing me to see this for me to be on alert. And I've dreamed of snakes before. I've dreamed of killing snakes. But whenever it's a snake involved, it is deception. It is the enemy. This is what I've always heard. This is what I've always been told. And I believe it. So, a lot of dreams are not good dreams, are not pleasant dreams, but when it's something like that, or something where you're being trapped, or you got to fight your way through, you already know it is something going on that's not of God in the spirit realm. And when I dream of something like that and I'm awakened, I just begin to pray, bind, rebuke, and cover myself in the blood, because this is what I believe in. So this is what I do. So a lot of people see visions. I have not had a vision. My daughter sees visions sometimes. Not all the time, but she can be awake, because I know when my dad died, my daughter stood in the bathroom and she could see this funeral possession and all of the people. And the people that she saw were not the people, it was another family member, but it was not the death of that family member who was a female. And within a day, or maybe, well, within a day or some hours, I got the call that my dad had passed. He had a massive heart attack and fell dead in his yard. So, a lot of us are gifted in that way. Hello, Cammy Dog. Happy to see you. Thanks for coming. Hello, Gwen. Welcome in. Welcome in, Frank G. Hi, Gabriel. Joshua, how are you doing? Hello, everybody. And I hope I have not missed anyone. Keisha H, happy to see you. Happy to see all of you. So we have to pay attention, because a lot of things and a lot of times God puts things in our spirit, and it's for a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens, good and bad, with purpose. And it is a lesson to be learned a lot of times. And a lot of times people look at you funny when you start telling them, so I know something's going to happen. I had this dream. I had another dream last night. Another dream. And, I just began to bind and rebuke, because the enemy will come as well. I mean, witchcrafty stuff, things that are not of God, but they're always able to be recognized when it's something like that, like snakes or whatever. We know that is the enemy coming. It's some deception on the way. It's just the enemy. And whenever God has his hands on you, when God shows you things spiritually, the enemy will attack you in many ways. The enemy will attack you. When my daughter was a young girl, I will say 4 years old, as I can remember, she was a praiser. We would go to church, she would praise God, and people would just be in awe. I remember when she would go and spend summers with my aunt and uncle, and my aunt would say, you know what? Everybody has sat down from praise and worship, but B is still up with her hands uplifted and still praising God. And everybody has sat down and she's not even aware, her eyes are closed and she's just praising God anyway. And she was always the type who paid attention to everything from a little girl. You couldn't fool her about things. She could walk in a room, and one family member used to say all the time, one family member, she can walk in a room with her head straight and see everything in that room and know what is going on around her. She can be tuned in to more than one conversation and not even looking at the person. So yes, we know a lot of times, and sometimes when children ask a lot of questions and talk a lot, she would ask a lot of questions about this, about that, but she was really not so outgoing with a lot of people. She was more to herself. She would talk to people, but she was always observant of what was going on around her. And it was like the lady used to say, she has an eagle eye. No, and ever since that was recognized in her, the devil has fought her throughout her life. One way the devil has fought her so viciously has been through her health. When she was 14 months old, she had spinal meningitis. 14 months old. And the doctor told us she could be um, she could have weakness of limbs. She could be blind. She could have uh, just a number of things, the doctor said, the pediatrician. And I looked at him and said, Doctor, she will not have any of these things. And praise and thanks be unto God, she has not had any of these things. But throughout her life, she's not 40 yet, but throughout her life, she has had one issue after the other in her life that the enemy has come against her in many ways when it comes to her health, but she has fought back every time and has come through a lot. When she was at the young age of somewhere between 18 and 20, she discovered a lump in her breast. Took her to the doctor, I think she was 18, and the doctor referred her out to another doctor, a specialist. Sure enough, she had a uh, glandular tumor. And the doctor said it was very evasive. If it was not removed, it could spread and spread and spread. It was biopsy, and it was non-cancerous, thanks to God. And so she had that surgery. It was removed. She had it as an outpatient, and she did well. But these are just a couple of things and ways that the enemy has fought her. And so, we're always in prayer. She's always in prayer, you know, binding, rebuking, and walking in wellness, in wholeness, making confessions about her body and her health because the devil has attacked her in many ways in her life through her health. She had a recent attack on her health. She had to have a surgical procedure for. But it has been one thing after the other, but the enemy cannot stop her. And through everything that she's been through, God is still blessing her. God is still here with her. He's never left her. And this is where her faith is. And this is where I join in faith with her in belief and, attacking the enemy who is always trying to attack her. But that's just a little something this morning. I don't know how I got on that. I was just led to share that with you, and hopefully it may help somebody. If you're going through something, don't give up, don't give out. Just fight the good fight of faith, because God will bring you through, and God is faithful. And when you belong to Him, He is going to fight for you. Hello, Frank. Welcome in, Frank G. Thank you all for being here. Just hopped on for a few minutes because I'm on a mission today. I got some things I must do, something I need to help my mom with, and a couple of other things. So I'm on a mission. I'm getting out early this morning. One thing, I am going to go and clean my mama's apartment. My daughter was going to do it, but I don't think I'm going to let her do it. I am going to do it. She took my mother to the doctor yesterday, she and her husband. So she's done enough. That's my mom. She's helpful with my mom. Um, well, my other daughter, my oldest daughter, is helpful as well, but she's working. She works from home, but she's not as flexible as we are, because y'all know I'm retired, relaxing and re-energizing. So I just go with the flow. Whatever I need to do, I am able to do it. So I am grateful for that. And those of you who are not retired, you can still relax. You can still re-energize, rejuvenate, recharge, refocus, all of these things. Keep that in mind. You and your retirement will come. If you keep plugging along and plugging along, one day it will happen. So just enjoy life. I'm trying to enjoy life to the fullest. I'm changing some habits that I have had for my good, for my benefit, for my well being, trying to get more rest, trying to really, really relax and just be about my business and about the business of God. So, guys, we're nearing the weekend. I want you guys to have a great and wonderful weekend. Enjoy every day of your life. Let's do things to improve health like I'm doing. It's in the, let's see, 30s right now in my corner of the world. So I will not be walking. I am going to shower and get dressed and go to my mom's house and try and make it back to my home. My mom lives about 10 miles, 10 to 12 miles one way from my house, which is way on the other side of town, but it's not. She lives more centrally, and I live in the east, that's way out. So I'm going to go and do these things for her, and yeah, that's it. And I have a video coming out at 9 a.m. Central this morning where I did a challenge, and I made a dish last night that I had never made before. It was a challenge. It was easy. I made it. It was good. Jeremiah enjoyed it. It came out better than I thought, but if you all have a chance, go and check it out. Tell me what you think about it, if you've ever made that dish or a similar dish before using ramen noodles. It's more than one way to make that dish. That was just my creativity. But anyway, the The topic, the real topic, is covetousness. Do not cover anyone else. Be yourself. Do you. Not saying that you can't get ideas from people, but don't desire to have something that God did not give you, because that is coveting. And we don't want to get caught in that. We have to be mindful of that, and that is one of the commandments that we all can be aware of, because sometimes we may not realize that we're doing this, but we have to be mindful, because the enemy comes in many shapes, forms, and fashions. So let's just be careful, because we don't want to get caught up in that. And as the Spirit leads, I will talk about whatever I'm going to talk about. I don't know what's next, but whatever's put in my spirit at the moment, that's what I will talk about. So thank you all for being here. This is a short one. I'm not trying to be here 30 minutes, because I am on a schedule this morning, and I need to do what I need to do. So you guys take care. I love each and every one of you. Thank you all, Patty Cake Crew, for being here. And I will talk to you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings, love, joy, all of the things to each and every one of you. Have a great day and enjoy the last day of November, and we will welcome in December. So you all have a great one, and I will talk to you guys soon. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon each and every one of you. Have a great one.